We are just a couple hours away from deadline day, thankfully. When the window shuts at 7 p.m. on Monday, but there's been a bit of a bombshell leak in the press tonight, if you believe the report from the Telegraph. It sent Twitter into meltdown, so we're going to discuss it right now. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know what you think is going to happen on deadline day and what you would like to happen, and I'll give my opinion on that towards the end of the show. But first of all, from the Telegraph, Luke Edwards, Newcastle United will consider letting Alexander Isak leave tomorrow on deadline day if/when Liverpool bid £130 million. So on that itself, we finally will know tomorrow. But let's be real, Luke Edwards at the Telegraph has all summer long said that Isak's staying, Isak's going nowhere, the club aren't going to sell him, they're staying strong on it. And then, less than 24 hours until the window closes, he's now suddenly changed his mind and saying that the Saudi owners are now prepared to let the Swedish striker leave, even if they cannot sign a replacement. And that's the bit we're going to touch on in this video massively. Newcastle will sell Isak tomorrow to Liverpool, even if they don't sign another striker. We know we've got Voltemada in as Isak's replacement, but we have not yet got Callum Wilson's replacement in. We've got William Masula there, who, again, yesterday proved he's not quite at it. So we need at least another striker in if we were to allow Isak to leave. Ideally two, to be honest, especially if Isak does depart for Merseyside. But according to Luke Edwards, Newcastle will sell Isak for £130 million and sign nobody. I mean, this will be an absolute disgrace if this happens, mind. I don't want to go full rant mode. It's past 10 o'clock. We're all about to go to bed. And, we've got a big day tomorrow. Stay tuned to the channel. It's going to be busy as out, hectic throughout. You know what it's like. This time with deadline day, the saga's going to come to an end one way or another. Can Newcastle get another striker in? It's going to be mental. So we're not going to lose the plot just yet. Not just because of this article, because we'll find out what's going to happen tomorrow. But tonight, this coming out, that Newcastle will let Isak leave. I mean, Liverpool are going to bid on there as late as possible that they can to try and push it even further. So there's no room for negotiating, to wind everyone up, to get the cheapest price. They'll bid tomorrow at 125, 130. And by the sounds of it, as I've been saying all along, I think Isak will leave. I can't see him staying. I can't see a way back. And I do see him going to Liverpool. Now, all year round, we've heard it would be 150 million, nothing less. We're not accepting less than 150 million pounds. However, now it's going to be that 130 million mark, which again, I think I said that back in Spain last month or something, didn't I? I think that would be enough to get it done, especially if we had add-ons. And it looks like Newcastle's owners now, according to the Telegraph, are willing to let Isak go and get on with it. They're saying here, for the first time, they're willing to cash in on their star player as long as the money is good enough. Newcastle are waiting for Liverpool, after obviously rejecting the bid last month, and they'll make a final decision on Isak's future based on whether they feel the size of the fee is too good to turn down. So they're basically saying to Liverpool, this is how much it's going to cost now, come in with it and you can have him. It's not 150 anymore, it's 130, they'll probably go for 120 odd and it'll get accepted with add-ons. It's still far from certain that Isak will be a Liverpool player when the window shuts, but after insisting 150 million all summer long, they've now lowered the price. So Liverpool have played a blinder. Well done. They did exactly what they wanted. Low ball offer a month ago. Deadline day comes, whack another offer in. Isak kicks up a fuss all summer long, and then the little prat gets his move that he wants. This is the worst part about it for me. It sets a precedent of how players can behave to get the move they want. For me, there's no way we can let him leave without sending a replacement. And even part of me just wants to see him rot. But obviously, FFP, PSR, take the big cash, take the 130, fine with that. But we have to get a replacement in. We can't let him leave and then be stuck with a Sula and Voltemada. We can't. No fucking way. With Champions League football. Oh, give up, man. Give up. We cannot do that. Bring in a German wonder kid who's, hasn't got a great deal of experience, then rely on him, and then what if an injury happens and you're relying on a Sula? We've seen what happened yesterday if you do that. Gordon, you've seen what happens to him down the middle. You can't do it, man. Please, we'll have to bring in anybody. Cancel Jamie Vardy's move to Italy. Swoosh in there, try and sign him. If he hasn't gotten the dotted line already. Dear me. Wilson scored the day for West Ham. Should have bloody kept him at this rate. I've been wanting him to leave for years. Shocking this, mate. I mean, I really don't want to believe this. I really want to hope that we can't get someone else through the door. But if we allow Isak to leave, it shows all summer long his behaviour is right. Liverpool played it right, and they got him for cheaper. So I do not like the way that sits and the way that will look. We're meant to be standing firm, strong ownership, strong club. You know, you're not having our player unless you pay up. Mint. So next year when fucking Real Madrid won Sandro Tonali, he just goes on strike for a little bit. Not saying he would. Hopefully not. But you know what I mean? You get that idea like, oh, well, they'll come in for the low ball off. You keep doing this every year. We keep doing it every year. So it's unacceptable for me. Like, we shouldn't have got to this point in the first place, and we shouldn't be here now where we're still trying to sign Wilson's replacement on deadline day. Wilson left months ago. Abysmal this. We've chased Wissa all summer long. We've chased Strand Larson for the past month and got nowhere with it. And we'll get into them in a minute because now it looks like those deals are off and we are going to look for alternative options with 20 odd hours to go. Fucking hell, man. So there he is. He's saying there it's not contingent on Newcastle signing a replacement. Newcastle recruitment team do not believe it is still realistic to expect Brentford to sell Wissa, even after his big statement today. I couldn't even be bothered to get into that today. You all would have seen it by now. Wissa basically saying, similar to Isak, but at least his statement, he thanked the fans, and he said he's got broken promises in writing, which is a lot more than Isak's to a person who doesn't work here anymore. So yeah, but Wissa with his statement today, but Brentford still don't want to sell. They can't get a replacement, and yada yada. We've heard it all year long. And the same with Strand Larson. Wolves only signed him 2 months ago. Wolves don't want to sell him, even for triple the profit. They do not want to let him go. So now Newcastle are looking at possible alternatives. The recruitment team have turned their attention. However, there is very few options left on the market, and it will be extremely difficult to get someone in with so little time left in the window, according to the Telegraph here. If Isak leaves, Newcastle are unable to sign another striker, it will leave Eddie Howe desperately short. No fucking shit. Talk about Voldemort there, we know what it is. Even they're saying here, Newcastle have got themselves in a ridiculous position, so late in the window. It's crazy. All year round they've insisted Isak would not be sold. Now the sources are stressing that nothing is certain with Isak at this stage. Liverpool are not yet indicating they are willing to offer the sort of money that will persuade Newcastle to sell. And there is still a chance that Isak will be stuck in Newcastle after the close of the window if they do not receive a bid. So he's covering all angles here. Luke Edwards at the Telegraph, really going off what he said in the first part that we've talked about. Because Newcastle will then be led to look weak. The owners will be led to look weak there is what they're saying here, having insisted the player would not be sold, and then for deadline day to allow him to go. It's like a rerun of the Andy Carroll day. Deadline day move for Carroll to Liverpool. Will it be a deadline day move for Isak to Liverpool? Oh my God. I mean, what a mess this is. I can't wait for the window to close. I really can't. And this be done and dusted. He finishes off the article by saying if Isak stays, Newcastle intend to offer him a new contract with a release clause that will only become active in the summer of 2026. Which I'm sure he's turned down any sort of approach already, because last Monday we know Jamie Rubin and that went to his house, tried to convince him to sign that new deal to get him to stay, and he wasn't having any of it. So yeah, Isak's not interested. Isak, if he gets his way, I'm just going to be raging, man. I don't care if he goes now. I want him to go. I've said it weeks on end. I want him to leave. I don't want him here. He doesn't want to be here. Get out. But you can't let him go if you don't send a replacement. We'd have to reintegrate him. We've got Champions League football. We'd have to see him play. Or just see him rotten. Because obviously the 130 is the benefit. I shouldn't say there's no benefit to selling them. Of course, it's the money for FFP and PSR. But to sell them now and not get a replacement in would be suicidal. Because if Voldemort doesn't hit the ground running, we can't put the pressure on the kid. It's a big money move, but it's not like he's super well established, and he's only had one solid season, one good run at it. He needs games, needs to adapt to the league, needs to adapt to Eddie Howe. And we can't be just relying solely on him, even though I'm very confident in him. And then Asula is his backup, and then Anthony Gordon is a makeshift striker. Fuck off, man. We're meant to be going for the top 6, top 4. We're meant to be in the Champions League 2 games a week, try and retain the Carabao Cup. We can't be serious going into this season, allowing Isak to leave and then having that as our forward line. It would be abysmal and disgraceful. It really would. It's inexcusable. We'd have to look at the bloody free striker market, who's out there at the minute. They're saying they're looking at alternatives now because they've wasted so much time on Wissa and Larson, which does me head in as well. How do we get to these points where we're getting told the wrong thing? Why we're bidding for players that they're not for sale? I mean, that's ridiculous in itself, like dragging this on for so long. All we've heard from Brentford and Wolves, they're not for sale, yet we keep wasting weeks and weeks and weeks on these players. We should have had someone in already. We really should have, but let's hope we can move fast like we move fast on Voldemort Day. It could be another one out of the blue tomorrow on deadline day. We're looking at kind of an experienced Premier League player, I guess, aren't we, by the looks of who Eddie Howe's been after this summer. You know what I mean? Today, watching Mateta for Palace, should be trying to get him, but they'd want crazy money and they can't replace him, so it's not going to happen. Rodrigo Munoz, he's been linked from Fulham or someone on. Could you try and go for him? But again, the price is going to go through the roof because everybody knows we're trying to sell Isak. We've got all this money if we do sell him. It's going to be nightmare. It's going to be carnage tomorrow, so make sure you're tuned in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop your thoughts below what you think is going to happen, what you'd like to happen. What I'd like to happen is get a good replacement in, you know, get someone that I've just mentioned in there who's a bit more experienced, a bit older, is a bit more proven, so, you know, he's more reliable, more consistent. You know what you're going to get pretty quickly than a risk or a gamble or a European prospect like Voltemada. He's going to need time, probably. So that would be my ideal situation. And selling Isak for 130 million, getting decent money for him. It should be 150, but at this stage, we've knackered ourselves. So if you can get the 130, you move on, you take a FFP and PSR, we can spend that nicely, hopefully wisely, hopefully quickly in the next couple of windows ahead. But for now, he must be replaced. I mean, if we can't sign a replacement, then he has to stay. But yeah, we'll talk all things tomorrow morning. We'll be doing loads of shows tomorrow, maybe lives, everything. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel. Drop a like, everyone, and I'll see yous on Deadline Day.